Okay, round 8 is now over, so let's see how I went. And then we'll look at some strategy and trades too. So, I scored a 2075, which is pretty bad, and now that set me down 3,000 places to the low 7,000. I think I've gone backwards about 90 points, which is not good at all, but it could have been so much worse. Still, a round rank of 36,000 doesn't exactly excite me. This guy, Dane Zorko, he absolutely traumatised me for 3.5 quarters of footy. 32 points at half time, 56 at three-quarter time, 70 with 2 minutes to go. And as my captain, I was furious. He looked so back last week and hungry for the ball, but we just didn't see it. He had a bit of attention put into him, but he just didn't work for it. He didn't need to because they were winning, but still. Every time he plays the Suns, he goes 150 plus, but then this. But then with a minute to go, he took a kick out. Got the mark back from that. Kicked it and got it back again. Then back again. And again. He got from 70 to 100 in 45 seconds and saved me from falling outside 10K in rankings. But still way below what I expected. Also, I did just want to say thank you everyone so much for 1,000 subscribers. I put out a post that a few of you saw, but yeah, I just really appreciate that, so I thought I'd mention it. Now to my trade in Lockie Ash, who started so well and then fell away. He had 38 points in the first quarter and then couldn't manage a 90. And he wasn't the only person to do exactly that, with Nick Martin, who I'll talk about later. Sydney played a very one-on-one game style, manning up and preventing chip kicks. There was no official tag, but there was always someone guarding Ash and not giving him any space to move. He barely took a mark in the final 3 quarters and handballed a lot more than usual. He should be better in the future after what was a very low-scoring game for fantasy. But given that I got him over Sheasel and Josh Dacos, that really does hurt. In the same game, Matt Roberts scored 86, but as I said, this was a very low-scoring game, so it's actually not a bad result from him. I should also mention that Roberts and Ash took a combined 15 kick-ins for the game, which is a significant portion of both of their scores. We also got an 80 from Jaden Short. It was looking to be very bad at halftime, but he saved it well, I guess. He's doing just enough to not be an issue. But if you look at his scores for the season, he hasn't been great. If there is a week where I can't afford a better upgrade, he will go. Riley Bice then showed us that, after all, he is a rookie, scoring just 44, which was very unexpected. I can't say I lost rookie roulette, because I never considered not having him on field. I locked Zach Reed on the field on Thursday night, and was not disappointed with what I got. 90 points from a rookie is just awesome, and he continues to take a heap of marks back there, which is great. He is still making bulk cash, so he can stay for a good while longer in our teams. Just great. Saad El Hawley was obviously a red dot, and I really should never have got him. And Stone was also a red dot. But Luke Traynor was awesome in utility, and it's just as a shame I didn't field him. 87 from him, including 61 in the second half, making great cash. To the midfield, which was pretty poor. I had Nick Dacos as my vice-captain and was expecting a big one from him, but it never came. He got tagged by Mullen, who did a good job on him, and he only scored 4 points in the final quarter to get to 92. Andrew Brayshaw had his first bad score for me with just 78 points. I believe he got tagged, but I'm not 100% sure. He still got marks and tackles, but he just couldn't get his hands on the ball. No one for the Dockers scored a ton, so it was just a shocking game for the club. I thought it might have been a good matchup, but I will back Brayshaw in to bounce back next week. Connor Rosie had a bad one as Port struggled all round. He got to 87, playing off the halfback and taking some kick-ins. He still had 29 touches, but the Dogs controlled the entire game, and Rosie just couldn't take any marks. But if that's his flaw, it's a pretty good one. Someone who was really good is Jack McRae, who was all right for the first 3 quarters. And then, in the final quarter, we got prime Jack McRae back, and he had scored an insane 66 points in just 1 quarter. That is ridiculous. He had 16 touches, 4 marks, and 3 tackles in 20 minutes. 139 from him well and truly ends his run without tons, and he showed why we should never write him off. Adam Chera had another poor one scoring 82, and he may need to be upgraded soon. Perhaps we trade at the bye, which is round 12 for reference. But 82 isn't too bad considering that Walsh and Hewitt were even worse. In the same game, Isaac Rankin was awesome, racking up 29 touches and 2 goals for 120 points. That's his highest score of the year, which is great to see from him, and he's proving to be a great pick. And I would argue he's still very underpriced. I suppose I have to talk about Xavier Lindsay, but I really don't want to. Just 33 from him, which I think is the lowest score I've fielded all season. Just 1 mark, 1 tackle, and 11 touches. I didn't watch the game, but I don't think Melbourne had too many marks with guys like Bowie and Salem struggling. And the wing roll is always going to have deviations, which you can see with him scoring 98 and then a 30. But yeah, not good enough. I used Ted Closey to loop Boxall on field, which I'll talk about in just a second. So I already had Boxall, and as I said in my trades video, I'd been struggling to pick a rookie. I had Josh Smillie in there, but last second I changed it to Will Lorenz from Port, who debuted at 230,000. He started so well with 27 points in the first quarter, but then he only managed 49 for the game. Very similar to how Buslinger scored last week. As I said, Port struggled a lot, which could be a reason for his low scoring. He was far from their worst, but in a loss that big, I'm worried he could be an easy scapegoat. Anyway, Hugh Boxall scored really well on debut, with 74 points, and for a good while there, he was right at the top of the game's scorers, but he fell away at the end of the game. I should also mention, he scored this 74 in just 59% time on ground, which is also nuts. I had the emergency on him, and I took that score happily. So good to see, and he will be the must-have when it comes to trades. On Thursday, Tristan Xerri scored 121. His third big score in a row now. Really good to see after he started so poorly, and he would be a major trade target if you don't have him. He averaged almost 8 tackles last year, so we aren't seeing that anymore, but I can't complain too much about 25 touches and 40 hitouts. Tom de Koning scored half as much with just 65, and it seems as though last week was very much a once-off. I wanted to go from him to Gone a few weeks ago, but I had to get rid of Bergman instead. I should have done it this week though. Now I'm left in a bit of no man's land where I'm not sure who I'd get from him. But I think I do want to trade. He's averaging just 80 in his last 5, and that's simply not good enough. But he's lost so much coin, and as I said, I don't know who to get in. There is no obvious option. Gone is expensive now, and he's just come off his good run. Yeah, I really don't know. Nick Martin has been a shocking trade-in so far, now averaging 76 for me. He started so well too, getting to 38 with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. And then he just disappeared. 42 points in 3.5 quarters of footy is completely unacceptable. He has a terrible role, and I really shouldn't have picked him. Anyway, Bailey Smith was really good again for 119. He looks to be really rejuvenated at the Cats and is putting the effort in. I need to consider him more for captaincies each week because he's got one of the highest averages in the game. Then Horn Francis had another bad one, but as we've already established, Port was shocking, and he was one of the better ones with all things considered. But Christian Petracca is a gun. 121 from him is so good. 4 tons in a row and averaging 111 in his last 3. This is why I started him. It's just a shame it came at the cost of starting Dawson. He has some more difficult matches coming, but it seems like he's found some form and the team is playing better, so I am still hopeful. Caleb Daniel had a 77, which is not good enough, and I was really hoping to trade him. That's why I banked a heap of cash to upgrade him and Ashcroft in the same round. But now I have to deal with Tom de Koning, so I guess I can't do that. Daniel is struggling with Sheaselback, and he hasn't scored a ton since round 3, so he can and should probably go. Levi Ashcroft, though. Wow, I'm so lucky I didn't trade Ashcroft. When a lot of things didn't go my way, that did, and it was awesome. 115 points from the young gun, which will be great for his cash gen. and he can hang around for a good while longer. Murphy Reed dropped another stinker of 39, and his value is going backwards right now. And I have other priorities, so I might not be able to trade him for a few weeks. I'm going to need him to bounce back big time next week. And Caden Cleary scored 61, which is really good in a bad matchup and overall low-scoring game. He's probably fieldable if I need it, but I'm happy with him making cash on my bench. So yeah, 2,075. I wasn't necessarily unlucky, but I also wasn't lucky. I missed a heap of ceiling scores yet again from the likes of Gawn, Sheasel, Dawson, and pretty much all of the other rucks. There seems to be a recurring theme with my number one trade targets and me not taking my own advice. If you go back and look at the thumbnails of my two last trades videos, I've had Gawn and Sheasel as the guys to get. But I never got either of them myself, which is sort of funny and just a little bit sad. I had all the guys who failed though. TDK, Lindsay, Bice, Martin, Brayshaw, Dacos, Rosie, Ash, Horn Francis, Short, Roberts. And the fact that I could go on is what makes it sad. Anyway, my +3 would have to go to Jack McRae. Scored 20 more than anyone else, and I think you deserve it, even if everyone has him. Meanwhile, I could give the -3 to a fair few people. Tom de Koning deserves it, when pretty much every other ruck option scored almost 100 points more than him. But we also had everyone else I just mentioned that flopped big time. But TDK can have it, because he was the one guy I needed to do well, and now it might be a forced trade, which is really going to hurt me. Looking at my trades, they weren't something I would ever advise doing, and not something I've done before. Oliver went to Ash, and Davidson went down to Lawrence. I'm glad I got rid of Davidson. He did all right, but he got subbed and I don't think he would have made much more money for me. Lorenz was a bad idea. He scored okay, but I literally knew nothing about the bloke and just picked him for the green thumbs up. I did look at his Sandfell numbers, but that's about it. My team value is currently sitting just under 22.8 million if you add it up. From what I could find, that's a bit below par, but decent. The thing is, my rookies and stuff are doing so well. It's just premiums that are losing bulk cash. Like TDK and Zorko have both dropped more than 100,000 in recent weeks, and Martin is also going down. But I guess they'll bounce back. Now, we'll have a quick look at the rankings and then go over some trades. So, believe it or not, it's still Jacob in first, but it's a bit closer now. 70 points in it, and I don't know how much longer he'll be able to hold on. The highest score for the round was a whopping 2,459 by Johnny, which is 400 more than me, which is outrageous. I just need one big week, and I haven't had it yet. A top 100 round rank, and I'd be right back up there. A quick look at the Open League now. So, of course, Jacob number 1, but we also have Herbie, who has moved into 7th after a massive 2,348 that he got. Congrats to him. Also, 8 people in the top 500 is great. Just looking at these scores, and even the lowest ones are 100 points than me. I've not had a good season so far. After the buys, I really need to be top 1,000, but that just isn't looking likely from here. So I guess I'll have a quick look at the trades. I banked 400,000, so I can do a fair bit with them. The main decision is with the rucks. I can get any rucks, but I don't know if I want any. TDK should go, but Gawn's too expensive and he's just had his good run. English I don't trust, although he's been good recently. Same with Cameron. I think Marshall might be the one, but we haven't seen signs of this. I'm king of tempted to hold. If I did hold, I might look to actually make 2 upgrade of failing premiums rather than getting a rookie off field. What I'm thinking is Caleb Daniel up to Harry Sheasel. I know I should have got Sheasel last week, but I'll bite the bullet and do it. He should keep the same role, even though he's copped criticism for his lack of impact and stat padding. Then I will also upgrade Jaden Short to probably Josh Dacos, who I also should have gotten this week. That leaves me with 100,000 banked, and I could get up to Wanganeen Malero if I wanted. As always, I'll try to answer as many comments as I can, and I'll see you on Thursday.